This is about connecting with your purpose, tapping into inspiration and influence. And the goal is inspiring people and being a person of influence. How do you do that? And that's what I'm hoping to convey here during this presentation. So it's all about creating a strong and powerful why. This is the most important thing any of us can do, is be in touch with that why, revisit it on a regular basis, but have it forefront in our mind. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, and these are the benefits. It's going to help you keep your focus and maintain the energy you need to succeed. So during those lag times where you feel like, why am I doing this? Have a powerful why. That's going to help you maintain your energy. It's going to fuel your creativity, that strong why. It's going to help you overcome barriers more rapidly and easily. Having a strong why is going to help you to find the strength and the will to make it through disappointments. We all have those. It's going to help you inspire team members and joint venture partners to engage in your vision and to call it their own. How many people would love that? It's going to help you inspire clients to invest in your vision and call it their own and become lifetime loyal patrons and advocates. Are these important things that if you could do these, your business would thrive even more? Connect with your why. Your ability to inspire and engage others is directly proportional to the level of inspiration that drives you personally. So I want to talk about motivation versus inspiration. Motivation and inspiration are two ways that we create action for ourselves and on the part of others, that we move people to action. You can motivate them, you can inspire them. Those are two very different ways. I want us to understand the difference between these two and decide how we want to move forward, to move ourselves to action, to move others to action. Motivation. Okay. Motivation is to be driven by external forces. And motivation has to do with fear, guilt, and shame. You know, you're motivated. You think of the personal trainer who is standing over you saying, "I want 10 more pull-ups," and just driving you forward. Okay, that's one way to get people to move. Think about your income taxes. You're motivated by fear to complete your income taxes by April 15th, or this year, June or July 15th, I think it is. When you're motivated, you're driven by external forces. And these are the fear, the guilt, the shame, as I mentioned. When you motivate someone, you become their external driving force. Now that's really important because it's not coming from within them. It's coming from you. You become their driving force. And there's a problem with that. That when you're not there anymore, their motivation stops. When the deadline passes or ends, or that when the fear is gone, the motivation stops. And how many of us have wanted to help people change their health habits? And so as long as we're there motivating them, maybe they lose some weight, maybe they start an exercise program, as soon as we're out of the picture, they just drift back. And also, when you motivate someone, the effect is not likely to go beyond that person. When you motivate someone, at the most, you're going to get some action from them, but you're not going to see them move others to transformational change. It's a dead end. Motivation is a dead end. Motivation uses fear, guilt, and shame to do its work and creates a temporary result at best. Okay, let's look at inspiration as another way to create action. Inspiration gives birth to an inner drive that can last a lifetime. And the word says it all. I like to do word studies now and then. And inspiration comes from two words, which in and spirit, which is breath. In plus spirit, breath. It's like an inner breath, an inner life force. When you inspire someone, the the movement and the action comes from within them. It's like you've planted a seed. Inspiration is to connect with your own inner driving force. When you're inspired, you're driven by internal forces. And you know, you look at the Wright brothers. Who made them do this amazing thing of creating machine-powered flight? It goes against so many rules that existed at the time. If man were meant to fly, he'd have wings. Um, and the amazing thing they did, no one was driving them to do it. They were inspired from within. And then we've got Thomas Edison. How many light bulbs did he test? He went through like 800 to 1,000 light bulbs. And before he found the right one, he was inspired. That's inspiration. When you inspire someone, you draw out their inner sense of vision, their internal driving force. When you inspire someone, they become the driving force. This sculpture was sculpted by Bertoldo di Giovanni, whose student, he had a student, and his student was inspired. His student created this, which is pretty amazing. As his student was Michelangelo, and this is the Sistine Chapel. That's what inspiration does. When you inspire someone, the effect is likely to go beyond that person you inspired. Remember, motivation was a dead end. When you inspire someone, they're going to go and inspire others. If you want to create transformation and change society, as we all want to do, that's why we're here. Inspiration is the key, as opposed to motivation. And it's the key to influencing others. Okay, we've seen these drawings and maps a lot on the news lately. Influence comes from the same root as influenza. It's something that is caught, and we've all seen the just phenomenal spread of COVID throughout the world to a worldwide pandemic. Well, when we influence someone, it's like we give them a positive disease and it spreads. So we're looking, that's how influence works. Unless you're inspired with a burning inner transformative calling, your business growth will always be a difficult uphill battle. It's going to be like, oh, what services and products shall I offer? Oh, is this product going to help me earn money? Okay, that's motivation. It's fear. You know, I'm going to go out of business. When you're inspired, you go about business entirely differently. Inspire yourself, inspire others. So, quick review: motivation or inspiration. What is going to move you to action, and how are you going to move others to action? Will it be motivation or inspiration? Your ability to inspire and engage others is directly proportional to the level of inspiration that drives you personally. So how can you feed your inner flame of inspiration. Let's talk about that. Inspiration needs a purpose. It needs a focus. And that focus is your life's calling. And that's one of the reasons that we shared our purpose earlier today in the meeting. Get in touch with your purpose and your life's calling. And to the extent that your business and your daily activity is driven and is inspired by your life calling, that's the key to success. So knowing and living your life calling is an essential step to moving from motivation to inspiration, from a job to a calling. You know, we have jobs, but what if it were a calling? How would that change things? And from being an observer to an influencer. So you're not sure how to discover your life calling. Now, you know, we say, okay, I already have a life calling. I know what my life calling is. Well, what I'm going to share now, if you already are convinced that you have a life calling, wonderful. But apply these things that I'm going to share, and you'll be able to deepen that life calling. So you have everything you need right now to find yourself participating in an inspirational life calling that will drive you forward with an unquenchable fire that's fueled from within. Do you recognize this person? This is Nelson Mandela. This is Nelson Mandela as a child. Everything he needed was there as a child. Look what he did in his life. You have everything you need right now to have a powerful, transformational life calling that's going to inspire you and help you inspire others. Transform your work into a calling. Define your business as a calling. This is step one. Okay, and we may have that. We may have that kind of in the back of our minds and say, yes, I know what my life calling is. I know my business as a calling. Well, here is your transformational life calling worksheet assignment. Set aside a personal retreat, 1 day or 1 week, and it's well worth the pause. To take that pause and then move forward with powerful inspiration. So here's the first thing that I want you to do is to put your calling in written form. Is your life calling in written form? If you were to define your business as a life transformative calling in one clear sentence, what would that be? Powerful action that you can take. Keep your calling in the forefront of your consciousness. The little circle is like going around in circles. Well, I have this service and this product, and you know people who have who go to the from one product to another product, from one business to another business, from one service to another set of services. That's going around in circles. Having the calling in the forefront, your life calling in the forefront of your consciousness will help you target something that's going to grow. Okay, let your calling drive your activity toward continual improvement. And so, you know, when you wake up in the morning, do you have that calling in the forefront of your consciousness? And then ask yourself a question. How can I improve my business today to more fully demonstrate and move forward my life calling? Let your calling drive your creation of services. As you look at the services you deliver, how are these services connected to your life calling? Are they just a set of services? Or is each service connected to your calling? Powerful. Let your calling drive your marketing. When you look at your website, does it reflect your life calling? When you look at your business card, take a look at your business card. When somebody sees that, how does that reflect your life calling? Is there just a name and an address? Is there something that reflects your life calling? How does your Facebook page reflect your life calling? Tell one person each day about your calling. There's no better way to get in touch with your calling than sharing it with someone else. And so if you can imagine, who are 3 people you know right now that you would like to share your life calling with? Consider that. And then begin sharing your life calling. Wow, you'll get feedback, you'll articulate it, and it will deepen. Create goals for your life calling. We have goals that we create, and my 1-year goal, my 3-month goal, my 5-year goal. And how do those goals reflect your life calling? Sometimes they're just a set of, that's why people have goals that end up on the shelf. Those goals are not inspired by a calling. They're just a set of, these are things I need to do. That's motivation. Goals that are connected to a life calling, that's inspiration. Create a strategy to achieve your goals, the goals of your calling. And what is your strategy and how does it connect with your calling? Create a timeline to achieve the goals of your calling. If it's just a timeline, once again, it's motivation. You're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel shame for not having accomplished those your timeline. You're behind. But if it's an inspirational timeline that connects with your life calling, totally different. Celebrate milestones and celebrate your arrival at these milestones. Do you have milestones that you set for the future? Have you set a celebration? Those people that you shared your calling with, invite them to the celebration. You're excited about this. Invite your clients to come together. We've just achieved a milestone toward this transformative work we're doing in the world. We'd like you to join us in celebration. Imagine the power of that. Inspire others to articulate their calling. When you inspire another person to articulate their calling, it strengthens your calling. It comes back to you. So that's another thing you can do. Surround yourself with others who are inspired and driven by a transformative calling. We all know people who have a job and may not be inspired by a calling. There are other people in our lives who, just the way they are, the way they carry themselves, you can tell they have a powerful calling. Identify those people in your life. Get close to them. And once again, influence is like influenza. Let them influence you. You influence them. It's like catching. You want to catch what they've got. So surround yourself with those people. Find and partner with others who share your calling. Who do you know in your life right now who shares your life calling? Find those people and find ways to partner with them so you're not alone. You're sharing that calling with others. Train and certify others to assist in carrying out your calling. Do you have a certification program? Have you ever thought of certifying others to carry out your calling? That's like continuing your legacy. Do you have a certification program? You may not need to have it currently established, but have you thought of creating a certification program? Put it in the back of your mind that you're going to certify others to expand your influence, and you're going to inspire them to assist in carrying out your calling. Your ability to inspire and engage others is directly proportional to the level of inspiration that drives you personally. And there you have it. So I wish the best for everyone in this room. I want to hear about your calling. I want to surround myself with others who have a powerful calling and want to influence a transformative reality in this world, transform people's lives. Those are the people I'm looking for. And I think there are people in this room who are also looking for that too. Let's get together. Let's share our calling. Let's inspire others to transformation together. Okay, any questions?
David, that was amazing. That was great. Yes, can we get some around the room response to what David presented? You can unmute yourselves. Yeah, Cheryl, go ahead.
Wow, all I can say is that was truly inspiring. It actually takes us back to our core, the things that run us, that we live for, that we breathe for. Yeah, it was beautiful. I tried to snap a few photos of some of those, and I took a whole page full of notes along the sides and around the edges as well. So really good, David. Thank you.
We'll put this as a video on the website, and I just want to say that yeah, work through this, take some time, and often the problem is, we have a calling. We started out with a calling, but then life happens. And you've got layers of things. Okay, I've got to do this website. I've got to do this Facebook page. I've got to make my bills. I've got to get more clients. And pretty soon, that calling gets buried deeper and deeper, and we forget it. Revisit that calling regularly.
Any other comments?
What I appreciated, oh, go ahead, Louise.
Thank you. David, that was awesome. I think a lot of times we get mixed up between, oh, I'm really motivated today to do this one thing that's really part of just typing or working or calling a few people or connecting with somebody, but we lose the passionate part of what we do and the inspirational part of what we do. I just want to sell this tea, or I just want to sell this teapot, or whatever, and it just narrows our focus to what the purpose of our whole organization is for. So this was great. I'm glad you're going to put up the video again. So good reminder.
Yeah, it's kind of like I forget why I'm doing all these things in the first place. And what I'd like to really ask each of you to do is to help me keep in touch with my why. Help remind me of my why, and help me to know how to remind you of your why. That is one of the most powerful things we can do as a chamber.
Vicki, please.
Yes, what I appreciated is the clarification and distinction between motivation and inspiration, because it's so easy to blur those, because we think, oh, I'm going to motivate, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. That's one part of it. But as you say, there are certain limitations. I like that dead end graphic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peppy,
I want to thank Michael.
Sorry.
I didn't get a chance. Thank Michael.
Peppy, did you want to say something?
Absolutely. I'm going to ditto what Dr. Vicki was saying. A lot of times you end up confusing or blending motivation and inspiration. This was excellent, and it clarified it very, very simply. Excellent job, David. Thank you.
Thank you.